So I've also provided one other alternative here. It's not one that's mentioned by Padmasambhava in the text, but I figured that we should have a female deity as a part of this practice. And so the companion to Chinrezi is Tara. And so in this case we have green Tara. Tara is the female Buddha of compassion, so kind of a companion of Chinrezi or Avalokiteshvara. And the structure of the basic practice is the same. We begin setting our intention, taking refuge 3 times, then the visualization, the mantra, the meditation. This one has some closing prayers and dedication. Then the post-meditation. So in this one, the visualization, again, we begin with stillness of body, speech, and mind. Again, from emptiness, you appear, in this case, the syllable PAM. And from that, it's transformed into the lotus. On top of this appears the syllable Ah, which is transformed into the moon seat, on which my mind appears in the form of the green syllable Tam. So in this one, we get a little bit more elaborate version of the appearance of the lotus, the moon disk, and then the seed syllable than we had in the other ones. And then from the seed syllable Tam, the green syllable, rays of light radiate out as offerings to all the Aryas, the Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, for the benefit of all beings. The light then reabsorbs into myself. It comes back as a blessing. And then we become Tara. The body is green with 1 face and 2 hands. My right hand rests on the right knee in the giving mudra, which is kind of a gesture out this way. And left hand is at my heart holding the stem of a blue upala flower. The upala flower has 3 parts. And so there is a bud, the new one. There is a mature flower, and there is an older kind of bud past its prime, if you will. Okay, representing the 3 times, past, present, future, and impermanence also as a part of that. And this, in this case, it appears over by the left ear. So she's typically holding it with the ring finger and thumb together at the heart level. My right foot is slightly extended and my left leg tucked in. So even though she's sitting in what is close to a typical meditation posture with the legs crossed, in this case the right foot is extended. When you see statues, for example, comparing white Tara and green Tara, that's one of the indicators. You can tell it's a green Tara if that leg is extended a little bit, indicating her readiness to step forward and help sentient beings through her compassion. So extending that compassion out to sentient beings. And then behind her is a moon disk. So we see this moon disk, this white moon disk. And in some of the images, she almost disappears in this light coming out from the moon disk. So the image sometimes of her isn't always real clear because of this light. And then on my forehead is a white Om, my throat a red Ah, and my heart a blue Hong. Now most of the deities will have these. It's not always mentioned, but the white, red, and blue representing the body, speech, and mind of the Buddha. Okay. From the Hong, light rays then radiate out. This is from the heart. Radiate out, invoke all the Tathagatas of the 10 directions, the Buddhas, the 10 directions, in the form of green Taras. Okay? So they radiate out as an invitation. We invite them to come in. But they appear now all as green Taras, not as whatever their particular other form might happen to be. The wisdom beings then absorb into me. And then again from the seed syllable, my heart, light rays are extended out to invoke the Jnani Buddhas, the 5 Buddha families. So we invite them to come and join us. Please, all Tathagatas, all Buddhas, bestow the empowerment on me. Then the Tathagatas pour water from the vessel on the top of my head. This is very much like Vajrasattva, where we have nectar coming into the top of our head to purify us. In this case, we also have water coming in and purifying us. Purifies all our defilements, and then Amitabha appears on the top of my head. So a real small Amitabha appears up here, and when you look at the images of Tara, you will see a very small Amitabha image up on the top. Sometimes it appears as part of the crown, but in any case, there's an Amitabha up there. Usually can't see a lot of detail, just kind of a little image of something up there. And then in my heart, on the moon seat, the moon disk, there is a green letter Tam, which we've referred to previously, surrounded by the syllables Om, Ta, Re, Tu, Re, So, Ha. That's the mantra. Om, Tare, Tu, Re, So, Ha. Okay? And from these syllables, the rays of light extend offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all these that are out there still, that we've invited in. The blessings and compassion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas manifest in the form of rays of light, which absorb into the circle of seed syllables, the mantra. And so we get this light going out to them, coming back as blessings. Or you can just see it all happening concurrently. It doesn't have to be pulsing back and forth, but kind of mixed in with each other, the rays of light going out, rays of light coming back into the seed syllable. And then with this visualization, we recite the mantra. Om Tare Tu Tare So Ha. Tare refers to liberating our discontent that we have. And then Tutare is liberating fears, the 8 fears, which I'll describe here in just a moment. And Ture is liberating from duality, the duality of self and other. So those two in union. And then Soha is to take root in my mind, so to become a part of me, or to embody the liberation of this. And so again, as in the other cases, we repeat this as many times as we can, 108 being typical for Westerners doing this practice, but if we have time, we do it as many times as we can, and then go into the meditation. So as I was saying, while we're reciting the mantra, we're continuing the visualization, but then we bring that back into us and dissolve that either instantly or gradually, as we've described either of those, and then we rest in the natural state of just awareness. If thoughts come up, we let them go, as Padmasambhava described before. And then the closing, we reappear now as Tara. And the closing, we have a prayer from Atisha here. Om, homage to the lady who protects us from the 8 fears. So I'll go through those 8 fears. There are the internal fears and the external fears, 4 of each. So on the internal ones, we have fire, lions, elephants, and snakes. The meaning of each of those is as follows. Fire represents anger. Lions represent pride, elephants, ignorance, and snakes, envy or jealousy. So you can see those are 4 of the 5 poisons. And then the external ones are imprisonment, floods, demons, and robbers. The symbolism of those, we have imprisonment meaning greed. So now we have the 5th of the 5 poisons. And then floods, which are attachment. Demons, which are doubt. And robbers, which is wrong view. Okay, so rob us of our pure view of things. So oftentimes with Tara, those 8 fears are associated with Tara, her compassion reaching out to us and helping to purify us of those obscurations. So it purifies us of the 5 or 6 poisons, as well as any doubt we might have, and the idea of wrong view, so purifying our view of things. And so Atisha's prayer then continues, homage to the lady who blazes with the splendor of auspiciousness. Homage to the lady who closes the door to lower rebirths. Homage to the lady who leads us on the path to higher realms. So we often see prayers and homage and praise given to the deity at this point of these practices. And then he concludes with, you have always sustained me in your care. Now protect me still with your great compassion, I pray. And then we dedicate the merit of this 3 times. So by the merit of this practice, may I quickly reach the enlightened state of green Aryatara, so that I may lead all living beings without exception to the same enlightenment. So we repeat that 3 times. In the post-meditation, again, we have arisen back as green Tara here, so we continue to lead our daily activities as green Tara, particularly emphasizing compassion, and thinking constantly about the suffering of other sentient beings, the benefits that we have in our lives, or even the benefits that we see among other individuals. When we look at, for example, the prayer of the 4 immeasurables, the joy that we have when other people have happiness, and the causes of happiness, that then we can extend out to people when we see them benefiting from different things that they have. But when they have suffering, or the realization that many, many people have suffering or don't have the things that we do have, again, we reach out with that compassion over and over and over again. And so we make that a part of our daily life. That's a part of the practice. We see ourselves as Tara, but remember, she's the Buddha, female Buddha of compassion. So we want to reach out with compassion, feel compassion, see compassion, embody compassion as many times as we can over and over throughout the day. That way, we're practicing constantly, not just for a few minutes in the morning or the evening, although we do the formal practice as a part of our daily activities as well. So that is the practice of Tara, green Tara, as a complement to the other male ones that was offered here as described by Padmasambhava. So enjoy this practice as well.